From the most distant corners of Africa and Asia to the heart of the Amazon, Olivia Mokijuski has traveled the globe exposing the dangers to our planet's wild animals and nature. She's a reporter, a member of the Nature Environmental Journalists Association and of the WWF. Like Leonardo DiCaprio and Yann Arthus Bertrand, she was named ambassador of the International Fund for Animal Welfare. We'll accompany Olivia in her adventures as she meets exceptional women and men who devote their lives to rescuing young orphan animals. People working to promote awareness and help make a better world.
20 years after the ban on international ivory trade, elephants continue to be massacred for their tusks. These last giants of the earth seem indestructible, yet they are so fragile. In just a century, 90% of Africa's elephant population has disappeared. In Kenya, we'll meet Daphne Sheldrick's team of rescuers who have been fighting for 30 years to save the elephants.
We've actually managed to raise now over 130 infant elephants through this nursery. That's quite a big herd.
Somewhere in this savanna in southern Kenya, a baby elephant is in trouble. He was spotted wandering alone in the Amboseli National Park. A team from the David Sheldrick Trust set out to find him. Traveling with these rescuers is going to be a very intense life experience.
Now it's the dry season in Kenya. It's the worst moment for elephants because food and water are really rare.
It's important to act very quickly. Without his mother's milk and the protection of his herd, the young elephant is doomed.
He must be dehydrated, hungry, and at night he's obviously an easy prey.
He's right there.
The baby elephant has taken refuge in one of the few wetlands that remains in the park. This water is probably the reason he's still alive.
He seems to be very weak. The rangers said that he was separated from his mother since many days, so he must be very dehydrated and very hungry also. We need to catch him before night.
The problem is that he's in the middle of a swamp, and we don't know if it's deep or not. We have to get him as far away as possible. They must be careful and try not to frighten him, because stress can be fatal for an elephant cub. They are faced with a 500-kilo animal, scared and unpredictable. The aim of these maneuvers is to immobilize him on the ground so that he can't charge. Even though the keepers are used to this type of intervention, there's always a risk.
He will calm down as soon as we cover his eyes. Once he cannot see anything, he will be less stressed.
After 15 minutes, we manage to subdue him. It's hard to know what happened to him. Where is his family? Was he too weak to follow his mother? Or, As often happens, was she killed by poachers. It's a race against time. For him to survive, we have to go immediately to the Nairobi orphanage, 250 kilometers from here. And this is where things get complicated. Question: how do you get an elephant in a small airplane? It's easy, like this.
It's impossible to dart the baby elephant because it's too dangerous for their health. So he's going to make all the travel awake. That's why we have to tie him up.
Despite the straps, no one is very reassured. We keep a careful eye on our unusual passenger, because if he gets free or moves too much, he can destabilize the plane.
It's quite amazing to take a plane with an elephant. Very unusual. A weird feeling.
The flight will take an hour. Certainly a first for a baby elephant. Snatched from the Amboseli savanna, the young elephant is about to start an entirely new life. He should have grown up in a family made up primarily of females, run by the most experienced of them, the matriarch. The mother, the aunts, and the cousins all contribute to his education. Growing up in the protection of these 5-ton giants, the baby is always safe. Elephant cubs are extremely sensitive psychologically. The family is essential to their well-being. Without it, cubs can let themselves die. Elephants have much in common with humans. Like us, they become adolescents around 12 years old, adults at 20, and can live to be more than 70.
What these baby elephants may be thinking and may be feeling. Here we are in Nairobi, in the city, with many cars, the traffic jam. He's hearing sounds that he never heard before. So it may be the worst part for him now.
After traveling for an hour, the little survivor finally reaches his destination. Rescue operations have become routine in this somewhat unusual orphanage. This baby elephant is the 7th one saved this year, the 60th in 2 years. Each one receives the same shot of vitamins to help them confront this new life. But will this miraculous survivor make it through his first night in captivity?
Come on, baby.
This orphanage is like no other in the world. For 30 years, this center, run by Daphne Sheldrick, has taken in elephant cubs all over Kenya, often victims of human-wildlife conflicts. Here, some 20 keepers act as nannies, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with babies weighing 300 to 900 kilos. Their mission, to raise these orphans so they can one day return to the wild. A first visit to see our little survivor, who turns out to be a she, not a he. She's about 1.5 years old and is already showing a lot of attitude. Her ears stretched wide clearly means she's not happy and ready to charge anyone who gets too close.
Julius, how was the night?
She's more different from what we saw her yesterday when we rescued her. In the night, she was okay, she fed well, except that she haven't taken in any milk. We suspect maybe in the course of the day, she would have had the milk.
She has already a name?
Yes, the name is Kitirwa. This is the swamp where she was stuck in.
For the moment, Julius is going to be the only one close to her. She has to trust him and to get used to the milk before joining the others.
A welcoming committee soon gathers to meet Kitirua. Everything runs smoothly now, but when Daphne Sheldrick opened her orphanage, nothing was easy.
In the beginning, there was just me and my daughter. That's after my husband died, and we moved into Nairobi National Park. First little elephant came in. I had no keepers. The elephant had to sleep in the bedroom. It also had diarrhea. So she and I took turns getting up every 3 hours throughout the day and the night, to be with this elephant.
It's time to prepare the bottles, which is a major operation because it takes an enormous amount of milk to feed 16 baby elephants.
And look at the bottle, how huge they are. It contains 2.5 liters of milk. Because elephants drink a lot during a day, they can drink between 10 liters and 40 liters. What they do is mixing milk powder with hot water. It's really important for the baby elephants to have warm milk, like their mother's milk. It took Daphne Sheldrick more than 20 years to find the milk formula, and during all that time, she has lost many orphans. You are not a scientist, and you managed to do something that nobody has done before you, raising an infant elephant. What's your secret?
I'm not a scientist, but I'm a naturalist. So I've learnt from the wild community, from studying elephants in a wild situation. And if you can interpret the behavior of the babies in a human way, and I've had my own children, so I'm able to do that, you get to the truth straight away. Because after all, we're animals too. We're not different. The secret with any animal is the love you have for them, the empathy, and of course experience.
It's good. It's not sweet, but it's good.
It's fit for human consumption. Elephants are human.
You mean that just a baby human can drink
Yes,
this?
they can.
Every 3 hours, this is where the greedy babies gather. These growing cubs are never late for their bottle.
Oh, Suguta. What a Suguta. Come, Suguta. Nipe kalama hapa. Nipe kalama. Drop that one. Drop.
Okay. They want more.
No, Melia. Come.
Saitis, Mirka, Kibo, and the others are from 9 months to 2 years old. They have found a new family here and have created strong bonds. Like a real herd, the older elephants guide the younger ones. Their principal activity? Eating. They spend hours every day eating dozens of kilos of leaves and roots. Their main utensil? A multi-purpose trunk. It functions as a nose, arms, and hands.
introduce myself to them, I have to blow in the trunk. It's really important for them because like that they will know who I am and will remember my smell for a very long time.
It's no surprise that these animals with a prodigious memory are wary of humans, especially anyone new. Many saw their mothers killed in front of their eyes. It's not at all easy to be accepted.
Here is Saitis. She's the youngest one here. She is only 9 months old. You can see that all the big ones are around her to protect her. And even if she has lost her family, she's going to find a new one.
Saitis was found when she was about 2 months old. So tiny, so small. Actually, we believe her mother could have been killed. Something to do with human-wildlife conflict, you see. And so they...
Farmers?
Yeah, farmers. You see, most of the people who live around these national parks and protected areas are farmers. So we believe the mother could have been killed in one way or another because mostly human-wildlife conflict end up for the mother being killed or the baby being separated from the family through stampede.
The real challenge is to give Saitis and the others the will to live. They have to join the group to be able to overcome their painful past. And it's not always a sure thing.
There is one who is not joining the rest of the group. It's Murka. She's 2 years old, and when she arrived here 3 weeks ago, she was in a terrible state. You can see she was found with a spear in her forehead.
But that's not all. Murka's ear was mutilated as well. She also had many machete cuts on her back. The keepers were very pessimistic on her chances for survival. Like Murka and Saitis, the orphan elephants that arrive in the center are all deeply traumatized. It takes a lot of time, a lot of love, care, and attention to move past this, and once again want to live. These guardian angels in green lab coats play a crucial role in this small, recomposed family. Like parents, they are authority figures as well as comforters.
Abdip, why did you decide to work with them and give them so much?
The population of elephants is going down. They're being killed because of their ivory. So to save a baby elephant, you've done a very huge thing because you're saving this for the future generation. You see, that's what we learn. When I came here, I came to find out that these are very intelligent animals. They're very passionate. You see, they're almost similar to our babies, our own babies. And if you call them politely, pat them, play with them, they know you're happy and they like staying with you. To work with the baby elephants 24 hours, needing special care, playing with you, getting dirt every now and then, stepping on you, kicking you, yeah. You have to be ready for all that. Actually, if you don't love them, not 2 days here, you'll run away. Yeah, so you must have love in your heart. You must have a place for these baby elephants in your heart.
And they give back this love to
Yes,
you.
they do.
In terms of love for their charges, these keepers have plenty to spare. And the elephants are not the only beneficiaries. Malim, the baby rhinoceros, is another one.
He's been unwell for some time. He's got pneumonia, so that's why you can hear his breathing is not all that good.
Rhinoceros horn is highly prized. When it's not used to make a pseudo-aphrodisiac, it's carved for dagger handles. Malim is a member of one of the most endangered species in Africa. There are only 600 rhinos left in Kenya, so he's cared for like a treasure.
Do you think he will be able to survive?
Hopefully we think he'll be able to survive because we understand we've had cases of pneumonia with elephants, but this is the first case of pneumonia with the rhino. So it's the first case we are dealing with. So I believe he'll survive and go back into the wild.
Edwin, the head keeper, never stops, even when it's time for Saitis to go to bed.
Tonight, Saitis is going to sleep with Edwin, his keeper. He's going to feel more confidence like any baby. I hope he's going to have a good night.
It's important to cover him because Nairobi is at an altitude of 1,600 meters and the nights are cold. No need to tell him a bedtime story. Citis will be asleep in 5 seconds flat.
How it is to sleep with an elephant?
To sleep with an elephant is like spending a night with a human baby, because we have to wake up every 3 hours in the night and feed the elephant on milk so that she can wake up and come to my bed and touch to me and feel that I'm there. Then she goes back to bed. When she's sleeping like this, if I open the door and go out, she can sense. And she's all right, she's comfortable. If there's nobody taking care of them, they feel like they're not needed, they can't survive, they're stressed, they're traumatized, and they can easily die.
Do you think that Citis is making progress? She's better than when she arrived here?
Yeah, Citis is going to manage to survive because she's made a very big improvement, a very big progress. She was very tiny, and now she's coming up. With the help of the others, she's grown big in the mind because she's trying to walk around and play with the others. She's trying to feed on the leaves. Yeah, she is struggling to live with the others.
All these babies are pampered in this nursery until they reach the age of 2. They will then be ready for a new phase, returning to the savannah. What will happen to Citis, Kitirua, and the others in the future? Like many orphans before them, they will head to Daphne Sheldrick's second center. 300 kilometers from Nairobi in Tsavo National Park. It's the country's largest reserve.
In Kenya, like in many countries, we see villages and cities spreading and overlapping nature. Elephants are closer to people and it creates a lot of conflict. People say there are too many elephants, but it's not true. They are concentrated in national park and unable to migrate. The problem is that there is not enough space for everyone.
In this country of 40 million people, the size of France, the population is skyrocketing. At the current rate, the number of inhabitants will have doubled by 2050. Some people think that elephants take up too much space. They even see them as public enemy number 1. These large nomadic creatures increasingly encounter people as they migrate. They destroy farmers' fields and sometimes even kill, an average of 30 people every year in Kenya. The immense Tsavo Park is one of their last refuges. It's a paradise for wild animals, but it hasn't always been so. In the 1970s and 80s, Tsavo was a favorite site for poachers. Thousands of elephants were massacred here. There were 40,000 then. Today, the population is just a quarter of that.
Here, 10,000 white elephants are living, and this is the place chosen by Daphne Sheldrick to release a part of her baby elephants.
The reserve still shows the scars of the large-scale massacres. The herds are smaller, the elephants younger. Elders, recognizable by their imposing tusks, are rare. Although everything looks calm, those who survived the carnage probably remember those dark years. The giants of Tsavo, like wise elders, represent hope for the species. Somewhere on this land there is surely an adoptive family for Citis and Kitirua. Every year, a small group of elephant cubs leaves the Nairobi nursery and is transferred here to Tsavo. There are now about 15 in Daphne Sheldrick's second center. All these apprentices will one day return to the wild.
Here the situation is really different from Nairobi's orphanage. First, because the elephants are bigger. They are between 2 and 5 years old. And here they're going to learn how to be independent. It means that they're not going to sleep with the keepers in individual stable, but they are going to spend the night together. They are safe here because there is an electric fence which keeps predators like hyena and lions outside.
They are not really babies anymore. In fact, some have started to grow tusks. Yet they haven't given up on their old ways.
It's not exactly the same feeding ladies. They are taller, they're so huge. It's really funny to see them very big and still drinking some milk. But it's not only milk, it's also water. Because the aim is to wean them, little by little.
Some more work.
Yeah.
These big guys can be unpredictable. At any moment, they can unintentionally crush someone or toss them several meters. It's 7 in the morning and Savannah School is about to start. This means practical training for the elephants to teach them how to fend alone in the wild. Nursery school is over. This is where real life begins. All around are buffalo, giraffe, and lions. But the young elephants never move too far away from Joseph, who runs the center.
I know the names of all. All of them have their own personal character.
How do they know what to eat? Because it's a new environment for them, and plus it's the dry season.
As you can see, they usually join wild group every day. So they will usually have a look at what the wild ones are eating, and then they will always eat that. Because during this dry season, you see there's a lot of bush that is dry. So they will always look for the wild ones, what they are eating, which green branch they are eating, and they always eat that.
Joseph has been taking care of orphans for 10 years. Syria, a 4-year-old male, is his favorite.
He's so big that we forget that it's a baby.
It's so big and heavy. This one is around 2 tons now.
No.
So it's very heavy.
Once
the hand.
Yeah, I know, but he has big teeth.
This one, without the
Yes.
small? Yeah.
What a strange sensation to have your hand sucked by such a big animal.
If he wanted to, he could do me some damage, but he's really gentle and very soft. What happened to Syria? What's his story?
This is a victim of poaching. The mom was poached and he was there just alone. And the group just scattered off and ran off. So Syria was left alone and he was rescued by well-wishers, and they called the trust to take him. He's putting his trunk here and he's feeling so good.
Even if you try to make them more independent,
Yeah.
they're still very close to humans.
At nursery age and when they are at the stockades, they have to be friends because we are the people who give them that care and love. When they see vehicles coming, they'll always learn, and this behavior, they learn it from the wild.
But you need to cut the bond with them.
Like here, we don't have many guests coming to see them because we want them to be as much independent as possible so that they can just know that they belong to wild and not people. Now, Kenya, don't be jealous. You see, like Kenya is pushing off Ndi not to be given attention by me. He's telling me, oh, move off, move off. This is my friend, it's not yours. Yeah.
To protect Joseph's work, it's also crucial to fight against poachers.
To reduce the number of orphans and to save the elephants, the best way is to protect the wild herds, and that's these rangers' job. They are working for Kenya Wildlife Service. This is the governmental organization in charge of protecting the wildlife in Kenya. In total, 500 men and women are working in Tsavo. This is the anti-poaching patrol. That's why these guys are carrying weapons, because it could be very dangerous.
To flush out the poachers, this unit patrols day and night every corner of this gigantic park. Traffickers don't hesitate to enter the protected reserves. Some even come from neighboring countries like Somalia or Tanzania.
What are you looking for?
The footprints of a poacher. Sometimes they normally come along this area and they look for maybe an elephant tusk or a rhino. So we are looking for footprints.
This area is very dangerous. A ranger scouts out ahead to see if the coast is clear. A few weeks ago, another patrol arrested 2 poachers here. Last year, 26 elephants were killed in Tsavo. The reason Kenyan authorities work hard to protect them is because they attract tourists, and tourism is the country's second source of revenue.
This snare can kill an antelope right away, but if an elephant puts his trunk or his feet here, it can cause a slow and agonizing death for him.
It's a tried and true old technique. The idea is fairly simple. The animal gets its head stuck in the trap. The more it struggles, the more the noose tightens around it. Today, smugglers increasingly use guns and poison darts, which are more effective. It may seem useless to remove these bits of wire, but each trap destroyed could mean one animal saved. In a few hours, dozens of traps are found, but not a single poacher. But poaching is not the only danger facing the giants of Tsavo today. The rangers have just heard that an elephant was hit by a train at the entrance to the park, a few hundred meters from the village.
What's happening?
Yeah, this is the elephant that has been hit by the train overnight. Now people are fighting for the meat. You know, if our park has an electric fence to protect animals from coming out of the park, it will be good. But we don't have this electric fence throughout the park. So we have been receiving these incidences, elephants, zebras, and other small games hit by a train. After receiving the report that the elephant has been hit, we have to come very quickly and remove the tusk to make sure that we protect the tusk, not to reach to third-party hands.
Do you have any problem with elephants?
Yes, sometimes. But all this is a bit sad. At the same time, I have meat for my whole family. You know, I'd prefer to see them free.
Asante. Asante.
What do you feel?
I feel sad. No, I feel very sad.
Yeah.
This is all the question of conflicts with humans.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
All the parts are up for grabs, even the feet. The stench is horrible.
Losing one elephant is just a loss because, you know, their population is, after so many years of pregnancy, so many years to come to give birth. So losing one elephant, we are losing a lot.
The people who are here, are they the same, but putting the snares, killing the elephants also?
Some of them like this one. You know, people have the liking of bushmeat, so might be here. So they just take, because elephants are coming to our farms and eating our crops, so it's like a revenge mission for them.
I'm sure that elephants are victims of poverty. That's exactly what we are seeing here.
Yes.
For many of these people, all this meat is an absolute godsend.
Wait, ondokeni. Wait. Ondoka.
Thanks to this elephant, some 200 people will have something to eat today. What can you say? Back to the Nairobi orphanage to check on Kitty Rua, the little survivor brought here by plane. 2 weeks have gone by since she arrived. She's now joined the group of other orphans. But her heart is not really in it. The elephant cubs are always depressed when they first arrive, and it's still the case with Kitty Rua. She's clearly staying apart from the others.
She's still afraid sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
Come on. Can we say today that Kitty Rua is going to make it, that she will survive?
I would say yes. It's quite predictable that she's going to make it because she's doing well, she's feeding well, she's accepting the milk, she's browsing, she's big enough to eat on some leaves. And though it is not always easy to tell the life of an elephant, especially when they're below 2 years. Because if something happens to struck them, then it takes a short time to lose them. But from the look of things, she's looking all right, and I can predict she'll do better.
It's hard to see her like this, with her trunk dangling down so sadly. 1 month ago, she was still living with her whole family, free in the Amboseli Park. Will she have enough energy and the desire to adapt to this new environment? But Kitty Rua will find there are small moments of happiness in her new life. The keepers have an unusual technique to fight off depression.
Come on, sit it down. Come on, come on. Come on.
Who would imagine that elephants like soccer and are good at it? It doesn't look like much, but it's a way for the keepers to create bonds between the cubs. Final score, 2-0, a shutout for the elephants. Motivating these young orphans to choose life is a battle that can be lost at any moment. Of the 200 baby elephants Daphne Sheldrick has taken in, only half have survived.
And they can be fine one day, they can be fine at 12 o'clock and dead at 6. They die very quickly. Elephants are very, very fragile in infancy. And in a perfect world, they shouldn't have any enemies. But of course, humans are the enemy now.
It must be very hard for you each time you lose one of them.
Oh, it is. We weep buckets of tears. So do the keepers, because they've got fond of them. There's a lot of emotion involved with the elephants.
You are fighting for elephants since 50 years. Do you think they have a future on this planet?
You know, the world has to decide. At some stage, does it want the elephants to stay alive? Or is it going to pander to trade to China and places in the Far East that have a great demand for ivory? And that, you know, ivory it's just ornamental. I fight against keeping elephants in zoos. That doesn't work. It's like putting a human being in a cupboard for life. Some animals can live happily in zoos, but an elephant, no. They need space, and a lot of space. That's why ivory has to be taken off the market completely, so that it doesn't invite corruption amongst top officials that actually have control of wild species.
International ivory trade was banned 20 years ago. The measure was effective for a few years, but smuggling to Asia and Russia has grown at an alarming rate. 100 elephants are killed every day in Africa for this prized white gold, which is ultimately a useless trinket. It's a sensitive subject in Kenya as well, but the rangers in Tsavo Park have agreed to show the ivory they seized just this year.
So that's why people mainly kill elephants, to get that ivory. It's really difficult to give precise figures about the price of ivory on the illegal trade, but it can reach around $1,500 by kilo. So can you imagine the price of this tusk, which weighs around 40 kilos?
A single tusk can sell for around $100,000. People often think the problem of ivory has been solved, that it's behind us. But just a few months ago, customs officers at the Nairobi airport seized a record 2 tons of ivory. This stock is just a small proportion of all the ivory that has been confiscated from poachers. But so much more than this reaches the international market. This is not just a stock of ivory. It's an elephant graveyard. Is an elephant really worth more dead than alive? The sight of these giants, who gather every day at the same time to drink at Mudanda Rock, is one of the most beautiful in the world. It's priceless. Ancestors appeared on Earth some 50 million years ago, long before us. But now, the survival of the species is in doubt. What would the savannah look like without elephants? Some days, unexpected visitors show up at the Tsavo orphanage. These elephants were once Daphne Sheldrick's boarders. They've returned to the wild, but sometimes they come back to say hello. Emily is the matriarch of this small group.
All the elephants behind me are ex-orphans. They spend a lot of time here, but now they are wild again. And very often they come back here to say hello to the keepers and also to get some food or to get some water, because it's the dry season now and it's really hard to find water in Tsavo.
Emily is the best illustration of the success of Daphne Sheldrick's program. She adapted beautifully to the wild and even gave birth last year. But before they reach this stage, Joseph's protégés have a long road ahead. They will spend from 4 to 6 years at Savannah School. But it comes at a price, an average of 800 euros every month per elephant for medicine, milk, and the keeper's salaries.
When I'm with them like this, I can understand easily why are you taking care of them.
Yeah.
But when you were a child, did you imagine one day that you will take care about the elephants?
No, I didn't imagine that one day I could take good care of them like I'm doing now. Because I grew up knowing that elephants are bad animals. They kill people, they do a lot of harm to them. And with the conflict, maybe with communities, maybe sometimes they are afraid of them.
When we look at Syria like this, we don't have the feeling that he's going to leave very soon.
You know, he has to live, but living is his individual decision. So when the time reaches, he'll always leave the stockades. But he's more friendly to the keepers and he might stay for long.
After a few days only, I really like him already. So I guess for you, you're taking care about him since many years, so it's going to be very hard.
At first, it's very hard to let him go. We'll be missing them and we'll be worried. Will he be safe when he goes out there? But we usually do some monitoring patrol. And when we establish that they are okay out in the wild, we are happy because we've achieved what we wanted. They belong to the wild, they have to go back there.
Syria will leave when he feels ready. In 2 years, 3 years, maybe more. One night, he will decide not to return to the center, choosing instead the life he should have known. He will then be a young adolescent, and the wild elephants he meets here will guide him. In leaving Tsavo Park, one can't help but think about Syria's future and all the challenges he will still have to face to claim his spot among people, but also among his own species. He will have to learn to become the strongest male in order to conquer females and ensure his descendants. Syria will enjoy his freedom, the joys of the savannah, and the refreshing baths that elephants love so much. But Syria's future is still fragile. Before leaving the land of the elephants, one last trip to the Nairobi orphanage to see if Kitirua's spirits are any better.
It's amazing, look at her. I didn't see her since 10 days and she changed so much.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
And she looks very well. And look, the color has changed also. She was gray and now she's red, like the others.
After playing the red dust.
Yeah.
In a short time, she has changed because elephants are very intelligent. They remember, they reason like we do. And she knows she's come here and she's communicated with the others can communicate with her. And most probably she knows that we rescued her, and that's why she has totally changed and made friends with the keepers.
The path to freedom will still take a few years. But before she can enjoy a real mud bath in the wild, she gradually learns in the nursery's small pond. Like the others, she plays in the mud and dirt, which are crucial to protecting her skin from the sun and eliminating parasites. The image of these enormous chocolate truffles surely won't be forgotten as a profound hope for all wild orphans.